Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing absolutely freaking fantastic and that you're all having a wonderful day. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. Very big thank you every single day to everyone who leaves a comment to help out the algorithm. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Of course, you've been here, hopefully, for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. The optimism is getting optimisticalier as the days pass on. And this is namely because every company and corporation has kind of made it known that they are definitely into Bitcoin. This has, I think, caused a gigantic knock-on effect, and I'll say it this way. I know that a lot of you, got it, are in crypto, but a lot of people in crypto are almost none the wiser as to everything that's going on. We have had, in the last 2 weeks, almost 10 companies announce that they are basically going to be doing the MicroStrategy thing, which is basically buying a huge, gigantimous amount of Bitcoin, and this shows no sign of stopping. On top of that, these other companies and corporations and CEOs have been going on to news programs talking about how amazing Bitcoin is and how Bitcoin's changing the world and how countries are adopting Bitcoin, and basically also that there's not a lot of Bitcoin left. Dragging us into that news story is none other than MicroStrategy. I can only wish them the best of luck in their endeavors as they continue to accumulate all remaining Bitcoin that is currently on the market. As you might have imagined, this was, of course, very popular news. There's no way around it. If it's MicroStrategy, BlackRock, or Metaplanet, it always has the most articles that day, without a doubt. MicroStrategy has disclosed that its Bitcoin accumulation arm of the company purchased 13,390 Bitcoin between the 5th to the 11th of May for about 1.34 billion US dollars, paying an average price of just a smidge below $100,000 per coin. The purchase was confirmed in a statement posted by Michael Saylor on the 12th of May. The transaction raises the company's holdings to 568,840 Bitcoin, acquired for $39 billion. Tell me honestly, be completely honest. If you had 39 billion US dollars, would you spend it on Bitcoin? Would you have known to spend it on Bitcoin? I honestly don't know what the answer would be for me. I can't imagine a scenario, A, where I'm a billionaire, and B, where I can sit there, and that's also like extra money. Don't forget that part. Someone's not worth $39 billion and they put all of their net worth into Bitcoin. That's a literal fraction of it. 39 billion exclusively into Bitcoin. I don't know if my soul could do it. At an average price of $69,000 per coin, Saylor said the position has generated a 15.5% Bitcoin denominated yield so far this year alone. The latest acquisition underscores their continued commitment to buying up as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, making sure that normal people have no chance of getting even a tenth of a coin. Because remember, my friends, all the Bitcoin, and this also holds truer than it ever has. 2 years ago, you and I were having a discussion that if every millionaire and billionaire wanted an entire coin, they could not have one. I believe there are over 30. That sounds like thunder and lightning. You can't hear that. Oh, okay, makes sense. Like the sky is dark and I can't see anything. Okay, yeah, thunder and lightning. I heard it and I was like, okay, let me not say what I thought. I believe the number's over 30 million. So mathematically, every rich person could not have an entire Bitcoin, even if they were desperate and really wanted one. With roughly around 1 million coins that are liquid, I need to keep stating that because people think that every single coin on crypto exchanges is liquid and ready to be purchased. With 1 million coins, all that's left of liquid Bitcoin, it is impossible for every millionaire and billionaire on this planet to have half of a Bitcoin. This is why that 0.28 makes a lot more sense. If you weren't here years ago, someone said if you have 0.28 Bitcoin, you are part of the 1%. It's not a joke. It's not meant to be like, yeah, you're cool. No, my friend. Mathematically, billions of people can never have more Bitcoin than 0.28. Talk about an entire coin. It's like it's not a thing. So as we move ever closer to that point of no return, I know someone's cooking it up. I know someone somewhere is writing an article. There's a documentary. Something's going to happen where they're going to say these numbers out loud and is going to rattle people to their core. Because the governments, the companies, the corporations, and the institutions and the world banks who are also all buying, they know these numbers. They know that if they get a Bitcoin, one, they are lucky ducks because of how scarce it is. This scarcity mentality is only going to kick in for the public once Bitcoin is over. I'm telling you, once it's over $1 million. At that point, what normal person do you know has $28,000 to buy 0.28 bit? No. It's more than that. No. It's more than that. It'll be it's $280,000 then. Oh my gosh. This entire time. No. Oh, normal people are never going to have enough. Oh, that's crazy. In my mind, I was like, if Bitcoin's $1 million, you would need $28,000 to be. No, you need that now. How many of you know someone who has $28,000 sitting around so that they can buy 0.28 Bitcoin and be part of the 1%? Right. That's the MicroStrategy news. This was, of course, very popular all over the place. I think it's just part of the energy that we have in the air now. They're going to buy. They're rushing. They're rushing to get to 1 million Bitcoin. Them and BlackRock are going to hold hands along with Capital 21 and also seemingly the US of A as they try to get those last Bitcoin that do not exist because there's not 87 million Bitcoin for them to all buy. Well, that's the MicroStrategy news. And yeah, let's move on. So most days it's pretty bad, but some days it gets worser. The amount of Bitcoin that's being purchased by companies and institutions is so out of control right now that we're actually, hurdling. Rapidly. Could you hear that? I wonder if you could hear the boom, boom, boom in the background from the thunder and lightning. I like thunder and lightning. I never understood. I never got it. When I was younger, people were always afraid of it. They would run under beds, and when I was little, I never got it. I never understood. I love the sound of it. I love when it's pouring rain, and I love thunder and lightning, especially at nighttime. If I'm trying to sleep, I go right to bed. It's the craziest thing. The amount of Bitcoin being purchased is so intense, and I'll say this in a nice way so we can move on. I honestly don't know how much longer the market can do this. I'm actually quite perplexed that we've gone this far without us being over $500,000. The amount of Bitcoin being purchased by the ETFs alone is so much that it's actually causing the supply to actually look a little bit crazy because the demand is too strong. For those of you not looking at the screen, this comes after some other news. It says growing demand from institutional investors and corporations may lead to a diminishing Bitcoin supply on exchanges. It is. Signaling a potential price rally driven by a supply shock, which occurs when buyer demand meets decreasing available Bitcoin, leading to price appreciation, supply and demand. While Bitcoin may experience short-term corrections, someone called he's an analyst, Dragosh, remains very bullish for the rest of 2025. He told Cointelegraph during the Chain Reaction Daily Twitter show. Is that X? I don't know. On the 12th of May. If you missed any of the last week or something like that, I'm hitting my legs. What am I doing? Every analyst, and we had one in particular who gave us a chart. As far as we know, every analyst has said, now, this is we're apparently in the actual final, the final leg up of the market. In that, they're saying that and remember, and I say this way, remember the April, May, June? Apparently the middle of May did it. And they said that from that point on, we are in the last 6 months of the cryptocurrency market going up during the 4-year cycle, meaning that this would lead us to a market top sometime around November and or December. It says in 2025 alone, corporations have bought 4 times more Bitcoin than all US spot Bitcoin ETFs combined, which is crazy. He said we're close to 200,000 Bitcoin already, which is the annual supply of new Bitcoin. When you keep fragmenting the numbers in this way, I think it's one of the best ways to kind of make sense for everyone. The corporations are also not the ETFs. Understand the ETFs, a lot of the ETF buying, if you weren't here, has actually been coming from banks. A lot of the banks, for whatever reason, are choosing the securitized version of Bitcoin, nearly all of them buying through BlackRock's ETF. The other buying is coming from like the MicroStrategies and the MetaPlanets and stuff like that. They're buying alone 4 times more Bitcoin than the ETFs, keeping in mind that BlackRock is also 600,000 Bitcoin, nearing 1 million. This comes after the news that we got. The amount of outflows on certain days is quite aggressive. So if you weren't here, with the point being, certain days, the outflows of Bitcoin from crypto exchanges is 200 million, 118 million, 300 million. There was one day on Coinbase alone where the outflows were $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is why when I said I don't get how they're managing to do this. This is sophisticated manipulation. $1 billion worth of Bitcoin left Coinbase. That's not Kraken. That's not Gemini. That's not any other exchange. The buying, what was the other number that we had before? It was something about I think MicroStrategy's buying alone is, I think, like they're buying the entire yearly supply. Just MicroStrategy alone is buying the other, like the full supply of Bitcoin mined each year plus. And then the other ETFs, and then you have the other companies and institutions, and like some of the sovereign wealth funds are also buying like spot Bitcoin. The universities within the United States, if you missed those videos, Brown, Yale, Harvard, University of Michigan, and there was one other one. They, since 2018, have been buying Bitcoin on crypto exchanges as well. So maybe they're allocating some into the ETFs now, but they also all have like spot Bitcoin. It's like the numbers don't make sense. We should be at 250,000 now. Oh my gosh, it's so thundery. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, corporate buying is getting really, 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 really intense. And we're not even done with half of the year yet. That, I think, is the thing that I don't want to say like surprises me the most or like makes me the most giddy. I like things. I know that sentence doesn't make any sense. I like seeing things happen, and I always want to see like where they finish. So if we get news that all these companies and corporations are buying up all the Bitcoin, and I keep reiterating that it's happening, we're getting to the point where by December, there literally won't be any left. It's just like a mathematical like thing that's going to happen. But I want to see it. Do you understand? Maybe I'm crazy. I want to see all the Bitcoin gone from exchanges. I want to see that thing where people like their eyes widen because they realize that they missed out. Not as an I told you so kind of thing. It's because I always want people to come to the realization that they should have done something. And I think that the time is now. These companies aren't waiting for you to get it. They're not waiting for your sister or your girlfriend or your dog to go, rough, 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 rough. That means I have to buy more Bitcoin or something like that. They're not waiting, and they're going to buy all of it. They're literally decreasing the actual circulating supply, and these coins will not go back into circulation because these people are waiting for at least a multi-million-dollar Bitcoin. I want to see Bitcoin go to 1 million because I want A, you to all have money, but B, I really want people to get it. And I think they need $1 million to like have it like, you know, hit them and go, yes, now. The numbers are insane. We keep getting numbers like this all the time, but they're getting more intense. And this is why I think we keep seeing, if you haven't seen them on Twitter, a lot of people posting charts showing that, here we go. One guy showed a chart that showed by the time we get to the end of June, we have a $150,000 Bitcoin. By the time we get to August, his chart was showing like over 200,000. And I want us to get there because I don't know what else to do to really get the public or people within crypto to really understand what's happening. That's the corporate buying news. Little crazy. And yeah, let's move on. Also I don't think that anyone asked for this, but alas, here we are. I think it was raining a lot. I think it might just be like another ploy to try and get interest or to get people to think that this has to be a thing. I'm honestly not really sure if I could ever get to the words. Jeez Louise. Coinbase is going to be launching Wrapped ADA, Wrapped Litecoin, Wrapped XRP, and Wrapped Doge on their blockchain called Base. Okay, I got it now. Never mind. I understand completely. Years ago, the first wrapped coin that we had was called Wrapped Bitcoin. The idea being that Bitcoin can just about do 3 to 5 transactions per second. Got it. So therefore, if you wanted to use Bitcoin, you must have heard that. If you wanted to use Bitcoin and its value somewhere else that was quicker, you would essentially lock up your Bitcoin in another chain and then use the value of that Bitcoin on said chain. So many of the instances that we got, or the news stories that we got in years past, was that you would do this on Ethereum. This was one of the first ways that you would be able to transact in Bitcoin's value on a quicker, air quote, blockchain, but also be able to participate in DeFi. Therefore, you could get value from your Bitcoin besides just the actual price. You could lock it into a protocol in a wrapped sort of way, and you would get a return for it. Amazing. However, other coins over the last few years also tried launching a wrapped version, but no one asked for them. So I assume in this case, as I just read it, Coinbase is doing this because they want their own wrapped versions of these coins. Got it. But they want it on their blockchain. Do you know why? Because they get the fees for it. If you can make sure that basically that the transactions aren't happening on Binance or aren't happening here, but they're happening directly on your chain that you get the fees from, you launch these things on your blockchain. It says the move could boost the Coinbase DeFi scene as the Layer 2 network continues to grow in dominance. Okay, I'm going to be nice and continue on. Coinbase recently announced a chat feature in their wallet. Oh, wow. Fantastic. That's awesome. Publicly listed crypto exchange Coinbase has announced plans to launch a wrapped version of XRP, Dogecoin, Litecoin, and Quadrano on the Base network. In a post on Twitter, the Coinbase Assets page confirmed they are coming soon. According to the post, the launch date will be announced later. With the move, these tokens will join Bitcoin as wrapped assets on the Layer 2 network. Coinbase is really trying to make their blockchain work, like really trying to make it work. We got a lot of news last year about how many people were using it, and then the news was actually released that Coinbase was simply locking up a lot of their own assets into their own blockchain, and then releasing the news about the TVL, the total value locked. So we saw that there was also a news story. It was something along the lines of like, stable coins are being minted on Coinbase's base. This is great for Coinbase and DeFi and so. And then we found out that it was their own stable coin, the Circle coin, that they were putting onto their own blockchain. So people are using it. Don't get me wrong. Of course, Base is being used. They're the second most popular crypto exchange on the planet. But I feel like a lot of what they do, which is very always like Coinbase-y, it's kind of like growing your own tomatoes and then telling other people that you grew tomatoes. Or like using those tomatoes in a salad and then inviting everyone over and going, look, I grew these in my garden and now they're in the salad bowl. This is what it always kind of feels like with Coinbase. Cool. I assume this will potentially have some kind of a function in the future that we will definitely hear about. I would assume these are probably the wrapped versions of these. Will probably, and I would hope so, offer some kind of a better return on these coins. Like, I don't know what the current staking percentage is for Cardano. I think it's like 3 or 4% per year that you get back. So logically, if you want me to take my Cardano and wrap it and then put it onto Base and then put it into a DeFi protocol, you better be giving me between 7 to 15% of my money. Otherwise, it's not really worth it to have to go through so many steps. So, like, Cardano can't offer 4% and then Coinbase says 4.1, like that kind of thing. That's the Coinbase is doing something that no one asked for but could potentially provide good returns in the future news. And yeah, let's move on. Also, in no one's asking for this, I don't get it. If you've missed the last, it's been about a month at this point. Do they have a trademark symbol on their own flag? I think we knew that we didn't make MasterCard. Jeez Louise, guys. The last month or so has been marred, dare I say, by news about governments and cities and other places who are basically telling people about stable coins and how amazing stable coins are, and you can use this with stable coins, and stable coins are the future, and governments are trying to make their own stable coins, and a lot of other companies are also making their own stable coins as well. And we got a lot of news that these companies in the United States were quite annoyed because they didn't first pass stable coin regulation within the country, and they want more. It's basically they want stable coins. If you didn't get the gist. These companies are desperate to make their own stable coins because they want the fees, like the money from the fees. Remember how I told you Tether makes billions of dollars just from their fees, and their fees are super low. So these other companies are like, no, we got to do the exact same thing, but they're not realizing that no one wants them. And their idea is that you are going to swap our assets, our money, into stable coins so that we can use them. I'm not joking. This is what's happening. The last couple of weeks, there's been a whole bunch of news that if you want to spend your money here, if you want to pay for your taxes here, if you want to do your so-and-so here, if you want to buy groceries here, if you want to buy plane tickets here, you can use stable coins. And I'm like, we already have cards. Can we just tap those? No, it's the future. It's because they wanted to run through this brand new system so that they can say that they have quicker transaction speeds while also still having to pay for their systems, which is all nonsense because stable coins are garbage and we should just be using permissionless blockchains. MasterCard and MoonPay. A company called MoonPay announced on the 15th of May a global partnership designed to integrate stablecoins into everyday transactions through a new line of branded payment cards. The initiative allows fintechs and enterprises to issue MasterCard branded cards that connect directly to a user's digital asset balances, as outlined in the announcement. They're basically, this is already what Coinbase does and every other crypto exchange. You can already use your crypto balance from those exchanges. But MasterCard wants you to take your crypto, literally put it into stable coins, put it onto their platform, and then use your master brand card to pay in stable coins. They said enterprises and fintechs will be able to leverage MasterCard branded cards linked to users' stablecoin balances, empowering cardholders to spend their stablecoins. This is such an odd disconnect, guys. The last couple of weeks have been so weird because all these companies and countries keep making it seem like we are clamoring. We cannot wait to have stable coins and then to use stable coins. Why can't we just use the thing that we currently have right now? It's because of greed. Yes, of course, the answer is always greed. These companies are trying to basically outdo Tether and Circle as they have the majority of the market share. And they think that because that they are MasterCard and Visa, that they can launch their own things, their own cards, their own stable coins to get people to use them. Empowering cardholders to spend their stable coin is the craziest sentence I've ever heard in the last 800 years on this planet. They say which will simultaneously be converted to fiat currency. Hey, wait. Why not just use the fiat currency that's already on my bank account? You want me to link my crypto account after I've swapped my crypto into stable coins to use your card, to use at merchants who will then simultaneously convert that money back to fiat. Add more than 150 locations where MasterCard is accepted worldwide. When I say sometimes like it feels like a fever dream being in this space, that's it. Why? What makes you think I want to pay my taxes in stable coins? What makes you want to think I want to take public transport and use stable coins? What makes you, it's such a wide level of disconnect that like it's almost like comical, like actually like people in a castle at the top of the hill with thunder and lightning as they're stroking a hairless cat, like that, like there's no connect to the actual public in any way, shape, or form. But I guess that's what happens when you are worth a lot of money. This was also major news. We're getting a lot of stablecoin news, and there seems to be a weird kind of thing whenever the news revolves around stablecoin and companies, that it enters the cryptocurrency news space as like something beneficial for us when it's just benefiting the companies. Anywho, good luck to them, because no one's, why would I, no. Imagine you have 5,000 XRP and you swap those into stable coins. And then you look back at the market 5 months later and XRP has done a 5x in price. I would just have anger. I would only have sadness and anger. There's no, that's the MasterCard news. Hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting the channel. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.